Alright guys, let's have a little change of pace here and go into a Division 4 game of League of Empires. We have Raiding Party versus 12 Angry Pikemen here. And yeah, this is, as I said, Division 4 is the lowest division. And the map is Golden Pit. So should be a map many players are familiar with from the ranked queue. It turns out regularly in both 1v1 and team games. But now let's introduce the teams here. For Raiding Party, we have Fingolfin here in the pocket position as Turks for Golden Pit. Now, for maps where gold is in abundance like Golden Pit, Turk's not a bad choice at all. They also received a buff recently with the Scouts Light Cab Hussar line getting extra Pierce Armor in the... where is it? +1 Pierce Armor starting in the Field Age, which is huge in the initial Scouts and Archers fighting, especially maybe in the Field Age, and arguably also in the Imperial Age when the Hussars raids kick in. They're harder to take out with Archer's fire. Turks have access to heavy camel as well, and they have beastly gunpowder units in the Janissaries from the castles and free chemistry. No need to research that, so you could go instantly into bombard cannons and hand cannoneers in the Imperial Age. So yeah, Turks Pocketeer, the lacking pikeman and elite skirmisher. Something that, however, isn't necessarily a huge deal in team games. Fingolfin here is currently rated 1277 in 1v1, so place the pocket roll here. His flank on the left-hand side is Diphthong with a melee here. It's a peculiar choice. Diphthong being 1116 elo in 1v1. Has melee, and they would usually be going into archers in team games from flank position. You have the opportunity to go up 66% faster, which means that you could go for a straight archers build with 25 pop instead of 23 and still be up at roughly the same time as the opponent. And that's of course something you could exploit. Not to mention you could get quicker to the cast stage and get to crossbow a lot earlier than your opposing flank. So I'm curious to see how melee works out here. You don't usually see them played as much on land maps, as there are so many other archers civilizations with eco bonuses like Mayans or Ethiopians or Vikings. But melee on this side, I would be expecting archers on the left-hand side here from Diphthong. And finally we have Moin here with the Teuton's flank on the right-hand side, playing in the red color here. So Moin is 1136, 1v1 elo. And yeah, I don't even know what Teuton's plan is here. They have fantastic melee units because their melee units get +1 armor in Castle Age and another +1 in Imperial Age, giving them the tankiest infantry and paladins in the game, I would say, at least in terms of melee armor. You could also open at arms with Teutons. You could go archers even, but it stops at crossbows for you. They're not viable past the Castle Age. Could be that Moin wants to boom and get into Knights line and Paladins as well from flank position. Or make use of Crenellation castles in the middle, castles with extra range with the Teuton's unique technology. So yeah, I'm not sure what the plan is here, but that remains to be seen, of course. So for the opposing team, for 12 Angry Pikemen, you have I Like the Jigsaw here with Britons. Currently sitting at 1110, 1v1 elo, so matching most of the other team's players here. Plays with the Britons on the right-hand flank. Britons, one of the go-to civs for Golden Pit for sure. They have amazing archers. You would go archers 99 out of 100 occasions with the Britons. And yeah, I'm taking 10 gold here now at 19 pop. Could be doing a drush here as Britons. I like Jigsaw. Could also be the Man-at-Arms build. Yeah, it's Man-at-Arms. Going with 2 on gold here now. Going to drop the mining camp and start pumping out militia after having clicked Feudal Age here. But Britain's extra range for the archers in Castle and Imperial Age, even giving you the opportunity to outrange mangonels already in the Castle Age. Scout running for Diphthong doesn't seem to be ending well. Gets one sheep though, and keeps the scout. Pocket position for 12 Angry Pikemen, we have Shenri as the Indians here. So Shenri, let's see, 1109, 1v1 elo. Indians, they have the best camels in the game still, I think, even though they got nerfed, not getting the last armor upgrade in the Imperial Age, as they used to have plate barring armor. So great mobile sleeve though, the villagers cost less as well, so that just makes that scouts opening a lot easier for Indians. And from the looks of the uptime here, going up at 20 population, it is indeed scouts in the planning for Shenri here. Barracks is up, and a little bit of a wall of fear. See all the players kind of commencing walls here, except from Diftom actually. Diftom wants to play this aggressive, I guess, going straight for the archers here, and that's quick uptime for Malay with a 25 pop total. And finally, for 12 Angry Pikemen on the left side flank, we have Sad Panda, sitting at 1117 elo as well, and plays as the Mayans. Mayans, fantastic archers. The archers are cheaper, so you should have an easier time massing the numbers. Why the heck is Sad Panda taking stone? Mystic, I guess, wants to start a walling hill here, and yeah, the barracks is up, and the militia, or as they are called on my channel, the Angry Housewives, are moving out. Let's see, Sad Panda's resources here is in the feudal age, is in the position to take man-at-arms, but hasn't really clicked that yet. But looking at the opposing flank side here, Diftom is not walled at all. We'll have to rely on quick walls or on getting his archers out here to hold off against these militia. Yeah, there we go. There is the man-at-arms upgrade on the way. Sad Panda also going for the walls here, dropping one range, which is usual with the man-at-arms play. To follow up later, Fingolfin is on point with the scout, though could deny or delay the walls a little bit here. Will not get a... should not get a villager pick up though. Sending in more villagers to fight here. Yeah, that's it. 3 man-at-arms and Eagle forward. Sad Panda getting some value already, taking Diftom off Precious Gold, which could impair the option of the Diftom going, getting the Fluent Archers production going here. Scout goes down for Fingolfin though, but there are more scouts coming, and since the first scout denied a bit of the walls, it should be possible for Fingolfin to bring in the rest of them. Yeah, walls not completed all over here. Fingolfin, you are probably assuming that the walls are up over here, but just move a little bit further and you see that they actually aren't complete, and the damage output could be pretty different here with this section still open. So a bit of lacking in scouting there for Fingolfin. Going to force some repairs here though, but imagine the damage output if you'd just been able to run in over here or on the other side, which is also still open, however not scouted at all. Double ranged blacksmith for I like the jigsaw here. 3 on gold. Going to pump out those Britain's archers and try and deal damage to the Teutons here, who is more or less fully walled here. So could be that Moin is going for fast castle play here actually. I didn't go to gold yet though, is it? But I only see 1 army as well. So, no, there's 2 military actually. So actually there's the stable, yeah, so going for the scouts here as well. Scouts from flank for Teutons here. Shenri, the Indians player, with the scouts here as well, looking for some damage potential. Could communicate a bit with Sad Panda maybe, and have a coordinated effort together with the man-at-arms here. But finally the last man-at-arm goes down, and Diftom, even though no fletching is in, has a decent chunk of army here to move forward and start contesting the Mayans player here. 2 ranges for Diftom, taking fletching now, and has consistent production out of both ranges, whereas Sad Panda is dropping the second range just now. So Diftom should be in a good spot to outmass Sad Panda for now. Five scouts versus 4 here. That's a fight that Fingolfin should win. Nice awareness to scout all the way towards the edge here as well to plug that last potential gap over here and intercept with their own scouts here. Two of those are weakened for Shenry as well. This is a fight that Fingolfin should easily win. Diftom doing great work in the eco department here though, is with 37 villagers here, has the superior villager count of all here. All players in the feudal age, and Shenry and I like the Jigsaw are the furthest behind here of the players. A bit of an archer run in here. It's going to be a better fight for Diftom. It's fletching versus no fletching here. Easy fight for Diftom to take. Should absolutely just chase here and keep the military numbers of Sad Panda at bay here. The Fingolfin comes with the scouts as well. Could move the scouts in between these groups and make for even more damage output for Diftom here with the enemy archers hitting the scouts instead of Diftom's archers. Fletching is a huge one here though. The blacksmith is just up for Sad Panda, and even though the numbers are decent here with 13 against 15, fletching is just such a huge deal. Skirmishers won't provide too much here when there are so many scouts on the field. 9 scouts of Fingolfin here. This is pretty strong forward on the left hand side. Good coordination between Fingolfin and Diftom here. And we're in. I love how they are setting back the Mayans player here now. Mayans with fantastic eco in the resources lasting 15% longer. Also some great walls from Sad Panda though to really limit the aggression here. This villager should be picked off by the archer's mass here. But, and yeah, still they could keep on, but just keep the army numbers low. This is another fight that's great to take. Fletching should now... isn't in for Sad Panda yet. Oi, oi, oi. Oi. So Sad Panda going to lose all the military here. Is it missing food or gold? No. The blacksmith is up, but no fletching is in. That's the dramatic oversight there from Sad Panda, who is going to lose huge numbers now to these scouts. For note that the Turks scouts here, they have that extra pierce armor, so Mayans archers will struggle on their own against them. And meanwhile, Diftom is hitting the other side with his masked archers here, going to take out the enemy spearmen here as well. And such great damage on Sad Panda's side now. Now to 31 villagers now. But Moin seems to have taken some hits as well, though, being subject to a strong forward by Britons here. And not really any means to defend this on their own. Cast Age is in though, so Moin should be getting those knights out ASAP if the economy allows. Absolutely does. Has to not freak out here and then just pump out some knights from the stables here, because the Britons players is far away from the Cast Age. If you get 4 or 5 knights out here from the Teutons player, preferably with +2 armor, then you contest these archers nicely. Alternatively, you could try and get into some siege, but Moin is completely off wood here, unfortunately. He's thinking about a defensive tower here, but taking some serious losses to the split up Britain's archers here. So the bad run for Moin here at home with the means to produce units here. I mean, of course, taking some serious losses here, completely idled. But look at the food and gold count, could still produce army here and hold off a bit on their own. Just, yeah, 90. It's a scary mass of archers overall. The problem here now being that Britain's player is right around the corner to Cast Age. By this time, Moin could have had maybe 4 or 5 knights out already. And with a little bit of help from Fingolfin's tanky Indian scouts as well, then they could be looking at cleaning up the whole Britain's numbers of army before before Castle Age and crossbows could kick in. But now it's a different story. Now the Grey player, the Britain's player, is up to the Castle Age, will be getting crossbow ASAP here. And why aren't you getting crossbow? Jigsaw. Lots of economy. Economy is the issue here. Probably preoccupied with the army forward and micro. And this scout will maybe get a few kills, but mainly just work as a delaying area. I get some pickoffs. Crossbow! Bodkin! Please! Oh, I say that's a more than decent trade for the Indians. No, sorry, the Turks. Turks scouts here. Has Moin stabilized maybe a little bit here, but still it's the issue of archers soon to be crossbows here for Britons. Yeah, looks like I misclicked there for I like Jigsaw. Had some skirmishers in the queue. You don't really need skirmishers in this position at all. 3 more ranges. And then Britons, I think it's a team bonus. The archery ranges work 20% faster as well. So if you have 5 ranges and say some gold control in the middle with Britons, you're just in such a beautiful spot to mass and outmass your enemy in terms of archers. This is not looking good for Moin here. Down to 28 villagers, lowest of all here, all-time low. Sad Panda has actually stabilized quite a bit here. Still in the feudal age though, but getting those army numbers up and almost ready to click to the castle age here. Moin tries for a defensive castle that is not going to go up in the middle of the crossbows, and the whole economy is just crippled here for Moin. And you could of course try and rush it up and defend your gold and zones and TC here, but if I like the Jigsaw, it's on point here, just patrol or focus fire the builders here, which is being doing, and it's just going to mean even more dead builders for Moin here. Castle Age is in for Fingolfin, going to go into the camels here as Turks. I like that addition. No difference between Indians and Turks camels in the Castle Age, so that's a good addition. But Shenry's numbers are 20 now against Fingolfin with only 3 military, so that is a pickle for these players to deal with. The Indian camels have a bonus against buildings as well, so they will have an easier time taking out enemy production potential here. So I like the Jigsaw keeps flaring their home base here with this stuff going on. Castle to be rushed up here, but Moin now down to 22 villagers and should be left with a really fragile eco behind all this. I'm not sure what Moin did here. Did have food and gold a moment ago, but may have sold that to buy stone for the castle. I don't know. Castle finally goes up though, but at what cost? Moin is down to 20 villagers here, and his whole team, the raiding party, are falling significantly behind in economy here. Good raids on the other side though. Lots of Malay crossbows here from Lifton, forcing tower defense of Sad Panda here, and could potentially challenge the whole army here. Castle Age is in for Sad Panda, but the economy to back that isn't all that special. Meanwhile, we have camels from Shenry in Fingolfin's base here, getting some good raids in. Remember, Moin is down to 23 population, is going to struggle to get back into it here. So now is the time to hit the pocket, which is exactly what Shenry is doing. And with and I like the Jigsaw's crossbow armies accompanying here. Not an insignificant mass of camels here. They have the +1 and the full defense here as well. And yeah, could easily contest production here with their extra bonus damage against buildings. Crossbows in the mix as well, so Fingolfin can't just go into their own camels or even even spearmen here. Turks only get spearmen, they don't get pikemen, they don't get halberdier. So it's actually really tough for Turks to defend this kind of forward of their own. We actually really need Diftom's archers over at the Turk side, and we could see a huge hit here now as well. Ah! Alright, good reaction from Diff Tom, took a minimum of losses there. Good reaction in the end actually against the siege there, but there comes the hit. That's 5 crossbows down for Diff Tom, who will be pushing this side on their own, but at what cost though? Because Shenry with a really strong push together with his Britain's teammate Alec Jigsaw here. They've successfully taken out Moyne of the game. Still only on 28 population, or 28 villagers, right? And these raids just now crippling the Turks' pocket as well. There is one difference here though. There is one more attack for Fingolfin's camels here, so there is some hope that Fingolfin can fend this off, simply getting the numbers back up and contest the camels of Shenry here. But we have Malay crossbows versus Britain's crossbows, one more range for the Britons here as well, and Indians camels with extra pierce armor to have an easier time taking out Diff Tom's crossbows on their own here. Woohoo, go pikemen! Yeah, it's looking good for 12 Angry Pikemen here now. Left-hand side being fought back by Sad Panda as well. So Diff Tom's push has been put to a halt here on this side. And remember, Shenry has barely been hit in the pocket position at all. So this is a fantastic spot for the Indians player to be in. Could actually argue that Shenry could even extend the economy even more now, going to another TC. There's a third one going up in the middle, so that should mean some serious middle control for 12 Angry Pikemen here. House walls going up for Fingolfin. They're not giving in just yet. Diff Tom with a convincing score here as well has done some serious damage on the left-hand side, but is being pushed back here. As I said, 2 mangonels now going to take out the forward ranges here of the Malay player. The bright side being though that Diff Tom is completely walled at home, should not be so... almost completely walled at home. And should not be subject to raids as easily from the opposing team here. But fortunately for Diff Tom, the enemy hasn't scouted this little opening in the woodline here either. Middle control is of essence in Golden Pit though, and that's what 12 Angry Pikemen is doing great work of here now. Army numbers, look at Shenry, 91 villagers here, superior lead here, almost to the point of carrying this game with the Indians, dealing some great damage. And Diff Tom, however, with the Malay is in the Imperial Age and has a huge chunk of crossbows here. Could this shift the favors of the game? Arbalest and Bracer on the way in. Let's have a look at Diff Tom's eco here. It's struggling for gold, unfortunately. That's going to be an issue, obviously, because if the enemies can contest these masses, this is a... Oi, and there's a whole good reaction there to plug that one, only let 2 camels in. Let's see the Indian camels here against Arbalests. See, Imperial Age upgrades against Castle Age camels, even with that extra pierce armor, isn't all that great for Indians, so they're pulling back. Still, raids need to be addressed though, and town center arrows isn't going to be too efficient here. A couple of villagers down, but keeping the raids out. Good job there. Let's just pray for Diff Tom's enemies to not see that there is a gap here on the woodline. Britain's crossbows now moving forward. There's a huge gap here for Fingolfin. And should be some good damage output potential here for the Britons. Shenry now on the way to the Imperial Age. That would mean heavy camel and Imperial camel for the Indians, and even more opportunity to take out enemy buildings with their strong potential here. Who do you think is the best individual player? It's hard to tell. It was a very strong forward from I like Jigsaw with Britons on Moyne's side here, but then again Moyne had a good position being in Castle Age to get the knights out with the eco, even being under heavy pressure, did fall, did crumble to the Britons' feudal age archers, so that was kind of part of the reason. It was a good Good push on this side. Then I like Shenry's position here with the Indians. Not really being hit at home, being the aggressor, coordinating well with the Britons for the raids on Fingolfin here. But then again, Diftom had some great team coordination with Fingolfin on the Mayans players had Panda on this side. So I think there's some good team coordination on both sides. And also looking at the players' elos, I don't think anyone particularly stands out here. I think Moin just freaks out a little bit too much under Archer's pressure, as can happen. And same goes for Sad Panda in the early game on this side. And all in all, both teams have good coordination with their mounted units and archers together. So we have Sad Panda moving forward now with 37 crossbows here. Was going to run into 60 arbalists. So the arbalist here could even let's see, could even outrange the mangonels here and take them out. Camels raids again from Shendry on this side. So again, a great call by the Indians pocket Shendry here to go for the raids, exploit the opening here, and keep the only remaining mobile player of Fingolfin here at bay at home here, forcing Fingolfin to take the fights at home. I saw a knight here, that must have been a misclick. Camels with equal upgrades here, but extra defense for Shendry here, but that's not applying, that's the Pierce defense though. Heavy camel on the way as well, so once that kicks in for Shendry, this is going to be a horrible fight for Fingolfin, but I think Fingolfin loses due to lack of numbers anyway. Then love to see a few of the camels to try and contest the tribe here though, so as to not lose this castle completely for free. And consistent military production from Shenry and Diftom here, respectively, is very well to see as well. Here come Fingolfin with quadruple stable camels as well, and getting some a little bit of help from Moin here from the Teutons, who is also trying to get back into it here. 72 villagers, so Moin has actually been allowed back into this game after being down to 22 villagers. That's also kind of impressive to get back into it from here. Of course, still going to be staying in Castle Age for a while here, but if raiding party can get some middle control as well, it's going to be a different story. And Diftom is doing exactly that. They will be needing gold for a long run, obviously. The main focus for 12AngryPikemen now should definitely be the middle, but you really need, this is a fight that Mayans should not take before Arbalest. Imperial Age is in, just get to that Arbalest upgrade, the economy is there to back it, get Arbalest, get Bracer, get Chemistry preferably, and then take the fight, because you're outnumbered, you can't possibly take this with crossbows. Is there any strats that don't involve taking the center in Golden Pit? No, I think it's all about the middle, unless you are able to somehow take out the enemies very early in the game. It can happen, of course, but all of the gold is in the middle. You start with only 3 patches, 3 patches of gold at home, and then you'd have to evolve, so you'll have to have some extremely efficient forwards to close out the game before anyone takes middle control on Golden Pit. Good fights from Sad Panda here now with actually the Mayan Arbalest doing work here now together with I Like Jigsaw. Not sure what I was doing with those camels there. Well, you can't be everywhere at once, I guess. Camel raids on Fingolfin still though. Imperial camels now. 9+4 attack and bonus attack against building. Yet again idling Fingolfin at home here. Fingolfin with 100 villagers here and 3 TCs at least. And looks like Moin is now going to try for the middle for a little bit here. That seems risky in the middle of the battlegrounds here. Hey, hey, Magnolia! We're casting some League of Empires this evening. Yeah, unfortunately for Moin, this is a futile effort to get ATC down in the middle. The middle is largely in control of 112 Angry Pikemen here. No, 112 Angry Pikemen here. And Imperial Camel Rider masses from Shenri increasing all the more here. It's probably getting close to pop capped here. 134 villagers to back it is with the most superior economy here, so great pocket play from Shenri here. And now with the middle almost lost, just I think just run the camels in here and try and take out the remainders of the middle section here for raiding party. And I think this is 12 Angry Pikemen's game. Yeah, full middle control for 12 Angry Pikemen now. Massive, massive population lead as well, with Shenri sticking out with almost pop capped here, and with extremely threatening mass of the Imperial Camels here. Now, I would say that that raiding party needs to go into Halberdiers as soon as possible now, but that's not really a viable option either, with all these Mayans Arbalest in the mix. Grey, no ballistics. Could be. I can check that actually. Yeah, no university for Grey, so you're right, Palm. No ballistics. So that's something to learn from. For I like the jigsaw there with the Britain's archers play. You really want to get ballistics because Britons don't get thumbering either for faster firing and more accuracy. So you really need ballistics for your archers to hit more efficiently against moving enemy units. That's a technology you'll find in the university, and yeah, it's something you get, if not as soon as possible, at least early to mid Castle Age, when you get your university up. But now looking at the army numbers here now, Sad Panda, Shenri, I like the Jigsaw, they are with a collected more than 150 army here, and the only player left with army is actually Moin, with 10 military on the field somewhere here. And surely raiding party will have to call the GG soon. There we go. And good efforts from both teams here, but it is the Indians camels getting too powerful in the end, and lack of army masses from raiding party here. Some great numbers and some nice early forward for Tom and Fingolfin together with the scouts and archers here. And let's have a look at the stats here. I'm going to go to the uptimes first because looking at Fingolfin's castle age time here, I mean they're all past 20 minutes castle age time here, but Fingolfin, I feel like Fingolfin may have over-invested a little bit into the Turks scouts here. Did have 9 scouts at some point together with a teammate, Malay teammate on the flank, and with that kind of food investment, it's going to delay your castle age significantly. Didn't make too much of a difference here in the end, but with an earlier cast stage for Turks there, you could get some more and stronger units out more easily, or extend your economy and extend to the middle earlier for that gold control, which is so very much imperative for Turks. You don't want to run out of gold as Turks, because that's the units they rely on throughout the game. The camels for encountering cavalry, or their fantastic gunpowder options with bomber cannons and janissaries from the castles. Overall score, MVP Shenri here. KD is looking pretty nice here as well for both Shenri, and I like the Jigsaw here. On the positive side, Tom, a good runner-up here with the Malay Arbalest as well. Had a good game here for sure. Food collected for Indians. It's so easy to boom with Indians with their cheaper villagers, so no big surprises here. And we've already seen the uptimes, and castles taking some nice middle control there as well, and overall villager lead. A good comeback in terms of economy for Moindo to be able to get to almost 100 villagers here with Teutons. Was down to 20 after the early Britain's feudal age push. So good comeback there, just not enough to provide enough army in the end.